Can you tell us the total amount of the settlement of the lawsuit with Kreider and Kreider?
$575,000.
And you are going to pay it out over 3 installments?
Correct.
Month by month or year by year? Or
it's going to be over 3 periods, so 3 6-month periods. So now January 1 and then June of next year. So
okay.
2 and 15.
Was this a budgeted expense?
Well, not technically budgeted for this year. I mean, it's been, ongoing discussions about that. As far as where do we come up with $200,000, whatever the first payment is, we're going to have to rearrange some things that maybe we were planning on doing from a budgeting standpoint and putting those off to a future period.
What's your cash position today, roughly?
With reserves or?
No. Reserves are reserved for a purpose, so no.
I'm not sure that I have that number with me.
Okay, you can just send it to us.
Sure.
There were 3 main lawsuits that we are aware of. One is over the alleged defects of design or materials to be determined by a court of the roof of the Palladium. Then there's the what I like to call the dirt-moving one with Kreider and Kreider. And then there's the one with Hagerman Construction. Now, for the benefit of the public, you had negotiated a settlement with Hagerman and Kreider that Mr. Oles, former executive director, had, I don't want to put words in his or your mouth, but you seemed to feel that Mr. Oles thought this was a reasonable number to settle these suits. And in fact, Mr. Hagerman for Hagerman Construction had come down. How much did he come down off of what he believed he was owed?
Well, I think between the two, the gross was something north of $2 million.
Originally?
2.1, 2.2.
And what did you negotiate it down to?
$1 million.
$1 million. Now, we've obviously decided to separate the wheat from the chaff and get in the middle of this and take Kreider out of the picture. Does that clear the cross-claim with Hagerman?
No.
And does that clear the lawsuit with Hagerman and the CRC?
No.
Has there, to your knowledge, been any attempt in good faith to sit down and negotiate with Hagerman to resolve this short of continuing to spend money with lawyers?
Not to my knowledge, but the one key, I guess, element there is that we did have outside counsel. Now we're using city staff to deal with that, and I think according to the mayor and really sort of structure how we deal with this is felt that Kreider was the first one to get taken care of, and now Hagerman's the next one, and then we still have the SS&E.
Do you know why the mayor is negotiating these, as he's not a member of the CRC, as opposed to the members of the CRC dealing with this settlement?
Not exactly. I think I think it's because we're using city attorneys to work on this from a legal side that he's gotten more involved in this.
So he only got more involved as Mr. Haney was brought in. He hadn't been involved earlier?
I think certainly he was aware of what we were doing earlier, but we had outside counsel that was negotiating it, and we had some meetings with the individuals trying to find a common ground to get this settled outside of what the legal issues are, from a technical standpoint.
So to your knowledge, outside counsel was not involved in the final mediation that arrived at the settlement between the city, or the CRC, I should say, and Kreider? Because I was under the impression that the counsel who had been representing the CRC was present at that negotiation.
I do not know the answer.
Okay. Is the CRC's finance committee a committee of one by accident? Because I know you've obviously had movement of members. Is there plans to, and I know it was not always a committee of one.
Right.
Are there plans to add members to that committee?
Yes, to add one more to get back after Carolyn left.
Okay. Dave, thank you very much. Thanks for your service.
Sure.